I wasn't expecting that. Sorry, give me 1 second for technology. Thank you all very much for this award. Receiving the Everett Hanel Jr. Award, Presidential Award, is an honor I deeply appreciate. It's humbling to follow in the footsteps of a giant and all the other previous recipients of this award. I'm grateful to those who nominated me, just like Jeff mentioned, the awards committee, which I also was on for God knows how long, the council, and the nominations committee. So I owe a debt of gratitude to the incredible colleagues and mentors who have been part of my journey. I need to thank some of these amazing colleagues. Rebecca Caruso, who is joining virtually from Harvard. So Rebecca and I go back a very long time. Rebecca Moritz, I'm gonna get the Rebecca's out of the way at the beginning. Kathryn Harris, if she's watching, even though you probably don't want me mentioning her name. Debra Sharpe, who I do not believe is here today. Deb Howard, you are amazing, I love you. Jeff Owens, I don't know if Jeff Owens is here, he and I have been here a long time. Barbara Johnson, Karen Byers, Barb Owen, Karen Savage, Scott Patlovich, Antony Schwartz, Randy Albrecht, Eric Rouse, Partha Krishnan, Luis, Carrera, and of course so many other people. I saw so many people yesterday and today, and I'm like, oh my God, I gotta put you in my speech. But honestly, I thank you all, thank you. I sincerely appreciate your support along the way. My journey into biosafety and biosecurity began in the mid-1990s. It's when I joined a campus committee on HIV and AIDS at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. At that time, there was limited treatment for the virus, and far too many lives were being cut short. As part of that committee, I developed and distributed health and safety information to help reduce the spread, while also trying to combat the stigma against those who were infected. As one of the few openly gay people in the profession at that time, and still at this time I think there's only a couple of us, I won't name anybody, I'm not gonna out anybody here. It was very important work to me. When I first joined ABSA in 2001, I sat at the back of the room, and I would quietly pass notes between friends like Rebecca Caruso, Kathryn Harris, Deb Sharpe, Jeff Owen, and we'd be at the very back, and we joke about those biosafety nerds at the front of the room. Gosh, they were losers. Well, fast forward a few years, and here I am. I'm a proud biosafety nerd / loser, and up here up front, and it turns out it's not such a bad place to be. As many of you know, I've never been afraid to speak my mind. I hope you don't expect that to change, but I've also tried to keep things light. Some of you may recall that in the 2019 annual conference in Birmingham, right before the election, unfortunately, I donned a blue wig to remind everyone that we shouldn't take ourselves so seriously. And I wish I had another wig today after last night. And where is Susan Weekly? Where's my wig, Susan? I'm just kidding. Leading ABSA, as Luis mentioned, as president in 2020, during the COVID's first year, it was challenging to say the least. Our favorite catchphrase was building the airplane as we fly it. Anybody remember that? And if COVID taught us anything, it's that biosafety professionals know how to build the airplane while we fly it. Sometimes installing wings at 30,000 feet. But after that tough time of COVID, we landed the plane with the wheels still on. Throughout my career, I have worked to foster a broader national and international conversation on biosafety and biosecurity. Whether advocating to professionalize biosecurity, sharing salary survey benchmarks, such as those that Antron shared this morning, providing COVID-19 response lessons from Arizona State University, or most recently, working with Rebecca Caruso and Greg Koblenz to map out a vision for a national biosafety and biosecurity agency in the United States. My goal has always been to grow and enrich the profession. I know that it isn't, not everyone agrees with what I write, but for me, part of what I do is like to, let me just use a little analogy. How many people have heard from some people complaining in several past years, oh my God, you just need to have another agency to deal with this. You gotta consolidate it. And everybody says these things, and our critics say these things. So fine, here's a straw man, have fun with it. Here's what we say, what we suggest. So I know these contributions, though, are just a small portion of a much larger body of evidence, body of knowledge, which is you guys. So here's my call to action to you. I encourage each of you to write about and share your experiences, your knowledge, and your expertise. The insights you hold as biosafety and biosecurity professionals are invaluable, not just for today, but the future of our field. Please consider documenting and providing your learned wisdom to guide the next generation. We all have some stories. Some of them are safe to print, a few. But it's those ones that aren't safe to print, quite honestly, they're the ones that are even more important. They're hidden knowledge, and not everybody gets to see it, not everybody knows about it, and sometimes we secretly share it with each other here in these meetings. But if we don't publish it, we don't write about it, then it doesn't become reality. And I know a lot of people are afraid to do that, but it's important. The pandemic brought the important work that we do into the public eye like never before. And guess what? After last night, it's only gonna get more attention, and it's gonna get worse. You should not be surprised if there are momentous changes in research funding, public health, biosecurity, and an overall scrutiny of the work that we do. If you don't know where to start and you want to see what's possible, take a look at the Risky Research Review Act, and let's see what's coming. It is essential that this community remains active participants in shaping biosafety and biosecurity regulations, laws, and policies. With our practical knowledge of those people in this room and online, we know what works and we know what doesn't. Our voices are needed, now more than ever, to help create effective, grounded policies. So let's not leave this important work solely to the politicians and policymakers who don't fully understand or appreciate the intricacies of what we do. Step up, speak up, be heard. So that sounded like a preaching, not so much an award acceptance, but I want to take this moment. I believe this. I believe you have a voice. I believe all of us have a voice, and we need to use it. So thank you again for this honor. It's a privilege to be one of the biosafety nerds, the back row note passers, the losers, the front row leaders, and the risk takers. Thank you for the privilege of being part of this community, whether you agree with me or not. Thank you so much.